Hey everyone, welcome to the tutorial of my CFD program. In this tutorial, you guys will learn how to exactly use the program, what data you can collect from it, and how to actually set up objects in it. Because yes, there is a slightly different way to do it over here. And you're also going to see what you can alter to fit your needs. You can use the CFD program for checking the aerodynamics of buildings, of vehicles, which is what I'm about to show you guys right now with, as well as airfoils and different angles if you wish. It's really your choice. Alright, so I'm just gonna show you on this Porsche Cayman 3D model which I've imported into the dot blend file, which you all would have access to. First thing you gotta do, as you can see, this is the test item. There's a lot of different parts in the car, and obviously I'm not gonna be able to turn on collision for all of them. So the easiest way to do this is just select any part of the car. I'm just gonna select the hood. Alright, remove any materials, start a new one. Alright, then go to wireframe mode, hold shift, make sure you don't select the field when you do this. Select every other part of the car, as you can see. Bring it back and join it. This way it just becomes one object and it's very easy to manipulate. So bring it to the the physics properties, turn on collision, bring the stickiness to 2 and friction 0.3. 0.3 is about the friction value of, let's say, it's basically paint. The friction level of paint in Blender is 0.3. If you're supposing, trying to, for some reason, check the aerodynamics of, let's say, a rock, right? You're gonna have to boost that to probably 0.8. So for now, we're putting in 0.3. And if you were testing something like glass, so if the Burj Khalifa, which is basically 90% glass, the part of it that's revealed at least, right? Then you gotta push that to probably 0.9, since nothing is exactly frictionless. Alright, so now that you've set up everything, if you just run the program by hitting the spacebar, it will run the simulation. I've put it to 60 frames right now because, well, that's how much you actually need. Now keep in mind, when it first comes in contact with the data won't be accurate, so I don't suggest pausing it right there. I was just waiting for the stream to go all the way to the second circle right here, and then it should be good. So I'm just gonna fast forward it for you guys. Alright, now we're currently at around 51, we're at 51 frames later. This is as you can see, it's basically done, and you can clearly see that the program's been put to work. So now I'm just going to shut down a couple of streams to show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so like I said, the red color air particles, right, that's really slow moving air, so 0.0 to 5 meters per second. The second it turns green, like this really nice bright green, that's 5 to 10 meters per second. And as it starts turning to blue, that this really dark blue, that is, it hits 25 meters per second, and this sort of light bluish is around 10 to 20 meters per second. So as you can see here, with initial contact of the car, there's a lot of red. Basically means that, this doesn't exactly have a grill, which lets air pass through. It's become a barrier in the front for the sake of 3D model. Hence you see a lot of red, and a lot of the air is being pushed back out because it's bouncing off the car. So if you see over here, right on the front bumper, that's a pretty good design, I'd say, because it's letting air pass along these lines here. So this is the kind of data you can get from a program like this. And as you can see over here, this sudden dip is now good, nor is this one right here. And the wind wipers don't exactly help aerodynamics, obviously, it's kind of a barrier. As you can see, just like real life, a good amount of the air actually sticks to the car and goes along with it. Some of it does go along the spoiler. If you look underneath the car, air is sticking and releasing pretty damn well. Well, I mean, this car's underbody is just purely flat, unlike a real car. So now, let's say we were to go to something on the side, right? Something like, yeah, something like maybe this. There we go. This is a side stream. As you can see, over here again, a lot of resistance near the tires obviously, and over here again, like I said, the grill is not exactly open, it's a wall. And as you can see, air actually goes along the side of the car because there isn't much for it to stick into over here because the angle is pretty damn sharp of the car, so air likes to move around it rather than stick to the car. Over here on the other hand, it's pretty good because the angle is smooth, Alright, so this is the basic data you can gather from something like this. And let's say you were to put another car behind this one, right? You would see in racing that cars get a tow. This is exactly what it is. Behind the car, it's basically a vacuum till air can actually come back together. So you can also see the amount of resistance caused because of that. And as you can see again, like I said over here, some more data you can get. It likes to follow the tail. The air particles coming from here like to follow the tail out. So obviously if you were designing a car, you would want something like this. Alright, now I'm gonna go on the technical side of this and show you guys what you can do with the particle streams. So if you want to edit anything, like supposing you want to edit all 6 of these particle streams, you just have to click the main one because it's a parent to the others. You just have to go to the particle settings, and you can see, as you can see here, 500,000 particles. Obviously increase it or decrease it according to your system preferences. I've put it to seed 1 to make it a little bit random. Frame start, frame end, you guys know this. You don't have to necessarily bake any of it because I know baking's a pain in the ass. Velocity is 12.3. I don't suggest changing that unless you're trying to model something. Unless you're trying to test the aerodynamics of, let's say, a Formula 1 car at its highest speed. Then I suggest pushing it to 20, because that would be the top speed of a Formula 1 car according to Blender. Obviously physics type fluid, if you go all the way down here, that's viscosity and stuff. Here is the scale and scale randomness. I suggest putting this to 0 because you don't want weird blobs every here and there. This is currently 0.01 centimeters, which is basically a millimeter. So the radius is a millimeter for the balls, I should say, or particles. Obviously you can drop it down, increase it the way you want. If I were to put it to 0.1, let's say. Alright, yeah. Well, this is the one thing that's exactly not great, I should say, about this program. If you were to change anything, including the position of the car, anything about the stream, you're gonna have to reset your simulation. You're gonna have to reset the simulation from start and do it all over. And obviously here we have field weights and whatnot. You guys can dabble with this according to what your needs are. But yeah, like I said, if you change even one thing, you're gonna have to reset it from start. And the camera, of course, is to help with any rendering that you might want or need. Well, yeah, this is basically the entire CFD program. It's not that complicated for users to use because obviously it's on Blender. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys like using the CFD program.